Vadodara and Surat. While the entry of this expressway to Delhi and Faridabad has not yet opened, the expressway can also be accessed through Delhi-Noida direct flyover near the Maharani Bagh in Delhi.
This expressway is at least 1,300 kilometers in length and connects at least 6 states of India. And it's a very important part and a start to India's ambitious project of the Golden Quadrilateral, connecting all the corners of the country together, which is why the government is trying hard to finish the project till 2024. With Pradeep Gupta from the Delhi-Mumbai Expressway, Milan Sharma for India Today.
Now, the storm that is taking place over Gautam Adani and the Hindenburg report is refusing to die down. Amid the ongoing parliament logjam over the Hindenburg report against business tycoon Gautam Adani, the Aam Aadmi Party has now decided to stage a protest against Gautam Adani. They will also push for a joint parliamentary committee probe. Senior Aam Aadmi Party leaders will participate in the protest and they will be gherawing the Bharatiya Janata Party's headquarters in the national capital. Aam Aadmi Party will also raise the issue of the bailout that has been given by the government to LIC and also to all the Adani Group companies. The Congress is also continuing its attack on the ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, accusing it of shielding the businessman. Congress President Mallikarjun Kharge has reiterated that Gautam Adani has received undue favours from the central government. However, since the Hindenburg report came to the light, the Adani Group has faced a loss of roughly 8 lakh crore rupees till date.
एक तरफ एक व्यक्ति अदानी एंटरप्राइज के पास बहुत से पैसे जमा हो रहे, शॉर्ट कट, इनसे भी पहले बड़े बड़े उद्योगपति थे, किसी के खिलाफ कोई एमपी या कोई पार्टी ऐसा नहीं कहती थी, लेकिन आज वो कहने का वक्त इसलिए आया है कि सरकार खुद फेवर कर रही है और पैसे बनाने के मौके दे रही है, तो इसलिए ये बड़ा डेंजर है।
मोदी जी, आपको जवाब देना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि आपने कहा था कि मैं चौकीदार हूं, तो आप अदानी के चौकीदार हैं कि देश के 140 करोड़ जनता के आप चौकीदार हैं। इसका जवाब आपको मोदी जी देना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि LIC और बैंकों में जो पैसा है वो जनता का है, मेहनत का पैसा है। उसकी सुरक्षा आप करने की जगह उसको लुटा दे रहे हो अपने मित्रों को। इसका जवाब आपको देना पड़ेगा और ये जवाब से आप भाग नहीं सकते।
मुझे हैरत है कि अडानी के नाम पे पूरी भाजपा को इतनी मिर्ची क्यों लगी हुई है। अडानी का नाम आते ही अनाप शनाप बकना शुरू कर देना, सदन के अंदर जो है वो हल्की फुल्की बातें करना। तो मुझे हैरत है क्यों क्लीन चिट दे रही है। जेपीसी कराने में क्यों डर रही है सरकार। जेपीसी कराइए, आपका क्लीन चिट सब निकल के सामने आ जाएगा, दूध का दूध पानी का पानी हो जाएगा। निर्मला सीतारमण जी में अगर साहस है तो वो प्रधानमंत्री जी से कहें कि जेपीसी गठित की जाए, सामना करें जेपीसी का।
Now, the death toll in both Turkey and Syria has crossed 26,000 people. So far, the rescue operations are undergoing, but it seems like this is the hunt to find survivors is a race against time. Take a look at this report.
One of the deadliest natural disasters in the history of mankind, with over 26,000 deaths, many still under the rubble. The tremor-affected regions of Turkey and Syria overwhelmed. On Saturday, Turkish President Tayyip Erdogan said that the loss to his country is unimaginable.
Yıkılan binaların yanı sıra sayılarını yüz binlerle.
In addition to the already collapsed buildings, the other ones, whose number can be expressed in hundreds of thousands, have also become uninhabitable due to their damages. So far, the total loss of life in the earthquake area has reached over 21,000 and the number of injured rose to 80,000.
Ayrıca 80.000.
The quakes have not only reduced thousands of skyscrapers to dust, but also have destroyed key roads.
Look at the damage on this part of the road. The plates moved, the tectonic plates moved as so much that the road has completely been uprooted, not just here, but all along this area. And there were several vehicles on the road early in the morning. Those vehicles were damaged after the crash, after the earthquake.
The burial grounds are witnessing an unprecedented influx of bodies. People are queuing up to the burial grounds to bury their loved ones.
Very, very sorry images of people beyond themselves in grief. They are injured themselves, they are hurt themselves, and yet the situation is so bad that they are having to come and bury their loved ones.
India today is on the Syria-Turkey border, tracking the grim situation in Syria due to the lack of supply of relief materials, forcing many to flee the country.
This border crossing officially is used for supplies, relief supplies to go into Syria, for some people to come in there. And the situation here, according to people filtering into Turkey from Syria, is very grim.
At the moment, there are thousands of people under the rubble. It's the 6th day, and honestly, the white helmets are at the moment losing hope of extracting any people from under the rubble.
For thousands, it is an endless wait to rescue families under rubble. Others await relief.
I have been waiting for my children. There are a lot of people here coming in and going out, but nobody does the work here. We are the victims here. My home is robbed. My children are under the rubble. We are waiting to be saved. Nobody helps us. There are 5 people under the rubble.
On Saturday, the remains of an Indian killed in the quake were traced. The Indian embassy in Turkey helped the victim's family to get his body back home. With Gaurav Sawant and camera person Kripal from Turkey, Bureau Report, India Today.
Let's now take a look at all the news that's coming, the latest news that's coming from Turkey. Turkish authorities are struggling to cope with the number of deaths caused by the earthquakes. Turkey is digging mass graves as death toll continues to rise. At least 25,000 people have been died in what is now the worst natural disaster to hit the nation in decades. There's a ray of hope as rescue workers are still pulling alive people out of rubble after nearly a week after the earthquake hit Turkey and Syria. Search and rescue teams have saved 5 members of a family from the wreckage of their homes with the help of a human chain. While many buildings were reduced to rubble after the earthquake, many apartments and houses have become unsafe to live. People are scared of collapse, and many people are now taking refuge in sports stadiums. Around 2,000 people have been seeking shelter in sports center. There's chaos that is erupting on the streets of Turkey with videos of looting being shared on social media. The Turkish president has declared a state of emergency in the 10 worst affected provinces. Military was also seen patrolling the streets. Support continues to pour in for Turkey and Syria. The United States has eased some sanctions on Syria to help the aid efforts. Medical teams of several countries are also reaching there to help in the rescue operations. Now, my colleague Milan Sharma spoke with the man who predicted these deadly earthquakes in Turkey and Syria. In fact, Milan also spoke with the man who said that the entire region at the moment is looking very unstable.
In a tweet on February 3rd, Dutch researcher Frank Hugebeets predicted that an earthquake of greater than 7.5 magnitude would strike Turkey and Syria. His prediction came true 3 days later on Monday, when 4 tremors shook the two nations, Turkey and Syria. The death toll stands at more than 25,000 today. Frank Hugebeets works for the Solar System Geometry Survey. It is a research institute that monitors the geometry of celestial bodies in relation to seismic activity. So thank you so much for joining us on India Today. I believe we are the first Indian channel that you are talking to. But I want to ask you, my first question to you is, how are you able to make this prediction, especially in the case of the earthquake that has shook Turkey as well as Syria?
First of all, thank you for having me. The reason for me to put out that tweet on 3 February was based on extended research that I did. In the past, historical earthquakes, there have been very deadly earthquakes in the past in the region, and it has been a very long time. And on 3 February, there was some seismic activity in the region, and because of the earthquake threat for that region, I thought people need to be warned that anytime soon there could be a really large earthquake in the area. But I had no idea that it would happen 3 days later, so that is a bit of a coincidence.
But Mr. Hugeberg, your critics and many scientists have questioned these claims and this particular prediction, and many previous ones that you have made too. And of course, you are replying to them on social media. But what are your comments to those people who are saying that one cannot predict an earthquake? In fact, the US Geological Survey has also said that no scientist has ever predicted a major earthquake.
The reason is that the method that we use is controversial, and this is because we have done extended research also into historical earthquakes, and we look specifically at the position of the planets at the time of large earthquakes in history. So then we can find a pattern, and we use that to anticipate larger earthquakes in the future, and this works very well. The problem is that scientists, mainstream scientists in general, they refuse to look at the planets because there is a consensus that planets don't have influence, so we don't have to look at the planets. But that is not backed by research, but by the consensus that planets have no influence. But based on our research, it turns out that the planets have actually major influence.
I want to ask you, because you have also predicted another major earthquake spread across Afghanistan, Pakistan, and through India, right till the Indian Ocean region. Is there any sense when it may occur, and what will be the extent of damage that it could cause?
There is a bit of confusion, I think, because in our forecast we explained that the purple band that you see on the map doesn't mean a rupture zone. So it doesn't mean that there will be an earthquake starting in Afghanistan into the Indian Ocean. It's merely an atmospheric fluctuation marking potential regions where a larger earthquake may occur. So that could be Afghanistan or Pakistan, or maybe if it occurs a little bit to the east, maybe even in India, like in 2001. That is possible. But this is all about possibility and probability. There is no certainty.
All right, so basically you're saying that you're not saying with certainty that an earthquake is going to occur in this particular region of India, Pakistan and Afghanistan, but you're saying that there may still be a possibility.
Yes, that is right. We look at the positions of the planets in the moon, and then we isolate critical time frames, like we did for 4 to 6 February. And then we also look at atmospheric fluctuations, what could be the most likely regions where larger seismic activity may occur. But it is really probability, it is no certainty.
But that prediction based on the seismic activity, particularly in the Indian region, has created quite a stir. With the Pakistan Meteorological Department has also rejected your claims of the next big earthquake being in Afghanistan and Pakistan region.
Yes, that is correct, because it is not a claim. We never said that it will happen, but the problem is our forecasts are sometimes taken elsewhere in social media, and then it gets a new story. But in our forecast, we really talk about probability, and Pakistan, Afghanistan, the regions that we marked are probability.
We've got some breaking news coming at the moment. Now, days after the United States shot down a Chinese spy balloon, the US has now shot down another similar balloon over Canada. Now, this is the second strike by the US in just 2 days. Now, this is the latest in the series of mysterious air balloons that have been seen over United States. And this comes after United States said that what China is doing is a violation. In fact, China then had said that the way in which United States has handled this entire issue is not right. And now US has shot down an unidentified object, not over its territory, but over Canada. Many are believing that this is the Chinese spy balloon, one of the other Chinese spy balloons that can be seen in the air. Those visuals on your screens are of the spy balloon which the US had shot down. And now reports are coming in that another such similar balloon has been shot down, but not over US. This is over Canadian territory. But this balloon too has been shot down by the United States. It is time now for us to slip into a very quick break. On the other side, India has thrashed Australia in the test series taking place in Nagpur.
You are watching India Today.
Over 3 decades, Business Today has delivered news, views and analysis like no other. Now, Business Today presents the future.
Could I request Mr. Arun Puri, Editor-in-Chief, to come up on the stage with the Finance Minister as we unveil the anniversary issue of Business Today. This is the 31st anniversary of India's #1 news magazine.
BT produces a cover with an AI avatar of Pichar on its 31st anniversary issue. Visit businesstoday.in/subscribe and subscribe now.
Houses falling down like a pack of cards. High-rise buildings, iconic monuments all reduced to dust. Is this what will happen to India too if we were hit by an earthquake? No, we're not fear-mongering. There's a very, very real threat of an earthquake striking us here in India. Think of what happened in Bhuj in 2001. This could happen in our cities too. Did you know, for example, that Delhi lies in a high-risk zone? And that's why those of you who live in Delhi every few months feel a tremor or two.
Organization of CDRI, it could have a huge impact, actually, and both internationally and domestically. And this is an Indian-led organization, you know, and India has such a huge capacity. And I think that India can share a lot from that within to the over the world to really change that. And also India risk factor too.
So let's talk about the elephant in the room. How prepared are we if an earthquake hits us tomorrow? As of 2019, the MCD in Delhi confirmed that researchers believe 90% of buildings in Delhi are at high risk. And this is largely due to 2 factors. First, the capital has a lot of old buildings which are prone to collapse. And second, even new buildings haven't been built to ensure they're quake-proof.
1 out of 10 buildings they see out there, those are fairly new construction, is actually collapsing because implementation was not quite right.
While there are several guidelines to ensure buildings are quake-proof, let's face it, it's never followed, and neither do we the residents ask if it is. So if what happened to Turkey happened in the national capital region, can we actually bear the brunt?
हमारा मेन ऑब्जेक्टिव होना चाहिए फॉलिंग ऑब्जेक्ट से अपने आप को सुरक्षित करना, और अगर हम किसी बिल्डिंग के कोने में गए हैं तो अपने सिर को किसी चोट से बचाने के लिए इस तरह से सिर को ढक सकते हैं, ऐसे ढक सकते हैं, या अपने आप को किसी टेबल के नीचे सुरक्षित कर सकते हैं, नीचे बैठ करके सुरक्षित कर सकते हैं.
Unscientifically built high-rises, old buildings with zero safety norms. If the national capital region is ever hit by an earthquake, we're in serious, serious trouble.
NCR is the #1 place in the entire India which has highest number of high-rise buildings, but sadly there is no rule for safety and structural audit of these buildings. Such kind of buildings which are abandoned during the construction are a threat to the residents, and the government must take lessons from what happened in Turkey. With camera person Ankit, this is Abhishek Anand reporting for India Today.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
You are watching India Today.
Welcome back. You're watching India Today. Now let's take a look at all the news that's coming from the world of sports.
India started day 4 on 321 for 7, and Ravindra Jadeja was the first wicket to fall on the day.
Venomous today, the 2 off spinners, and they've got a big wicket. Jadeja has to depart.
Mohammad Shami was next to come in, and he put on an excellent show with a flurry of 4s and 6s.
And he smashed that into the crowd.
But Todd Murphy picked up his 7th wicket of the test when Shami top edge one to Alex Carey.
So the plan works, playing for a miss hit. Mohammad Shami couldn't hold back.
India were then bowled out for 400 on the stroke of lunch with a huge lead of 223 runs. In reply, Australia lost Usman Khawaja in the second over of the innings itself, with Kohli taking a catch in the slips off Ashwin.
Kohli making no mistake. And India drawn first blood. Well, don't worry about the left arm spinners.
Maurice Labuschagne then hit a couple of boundaries before Jadeja caught him plumb right in front of the stumps.
Very close. And the finger goes up, naturally, as you would expect.
David Warner's stay was then cut short by Ravichandran Ashwin, and the Aussies were 35 for 3.
One of those occasions when the umpire's call was out.
It was the Ashwin show thereafter as he picked up his 31st 5-wicket haul in Test cricket with Matthew Renshaw, Peter Hanscom and Alex Carey all dismissed leg before.
Good shout, that looked out.
Steve Smith was the lone warrior for Australia, but he got no support from the other end.
Steve Smith seizing on the opportunity.
And in the 31st over, Smith was clean bowled by Jadeja, but it was called a no ball, so he survived.
As well as a call.
Yet Australia were eventually bowled out for 91, and India won the test by an innings and 132 runs to take a 1-0 lead in the Border-Gavaskar Trophy series. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Australia have been beaten by an innings and 132 runs, and India take a 1-0.
Now, after India won over Australia in the first test, Captain Rohit Sharma and R. Ashwin came together for a conversation which celebrated Team India's win and also the milestones that have been achieved through this match.
Faf du Plessis, Babar Azam, Tilakartne Dilshan, and Mr. Rohit Sharma, can you help me with the rest? How does it feel?
They're really good players, man. All three of them.
Okay, you're going to do this or shall I do it for you?
You can do it.
Okay. There have been only three captains who got hundreds in all formats before Rohit did it this game. How does it feel, Rohit? How does it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it feels really good. I just got to know that this is the feat that I've achieved. It's always nice when you can add all these milestones while playing because, you know, you've been playing for such a long time and all these things will keep happening. But honestly speaking, your mind doesn't go there. I'm pretty sure you've got so many wickets, man. You don't look at all those numbers. You just want to come out there, play, do well for your team, do well for your country. And that is what I've been doing. You got 450 wickets, second fastest after Mr. Anil Kumble.
After Muralidharan.
After Muralidharan, sorry. Yeah. Second Indian to 450 wickets. Okay. Did you know about this? I'm pretty sure. You are good with stats, man. So I know you know.
I mean, knowing that the second highest wicket taker in the country is pretty simple. I didn't know about the fastest bit after Murali. After I did it, I saw it on the TV screens, which is quite common in India these days. However, I thought your 100 was very special on this wicket. On this game, the game was really in the balance. We had to get ahead of the game. What did you think of the pitch and what was your approach?
The first inning lead is certainly quite important, and after losing the toss, obviously you got to make sure that you bat as long as possible. Try and make the most of your first innings so that you don't want to be batting on that pitch on day 4, day 5, basically fourth innings. So that was my mindset. I didn't want it to just give out that easily to the opposition. I just wanted to grind it out, try and see what new things I can do, trying to go back to my old school thought process, which is, you know, coming down the track, trying to negate that spin option and get to the pitch of the ball. I thought sweep was a good option, but the bounce wasn't that consistent, so I just completely took that out of my game and I wanted to play as straight as possible and wait for that loose delivery.
About on how Jadeja is a superstar, we all know that. About on Jadeja and Akshar and their batting ability through the game.
Yeah, Jadeja especially, I mean, he's coming back after 5-6 months, and for him to come back in the way he did, it's a good sign for us. You know, he's a massive player for us. Really has improved a lot as a cricketer. I know he could always bowl, but what I'm seeing in him, the way he's batting these days, that is more pleasing to me, and I'm pretty sure it's helping the team in big way because that number where he goes to bat is quite crucial. We know that. So yeah, I mean, he's coming along pretty well, and I just hope that he continues to do that. We're not talking about 450 wickets. That is a massive feat, bro. Not anyone can come and get 450 wickets. I don't care about what conditions. 450 wickets is a big achievement, you know. And like Jadeja, you know, I mentioned about Jadeja being a massive player. I mean, you've been one of the stalwarts of this team for last maybe not 5-6, but a decade, I feel. You know, since you made your debut, you've never looked back. It's coming along nicely.
Yeah, thankfully, yes. I mean, Joe, all things apart, this is my first 5-wicket haul with you as my captain. It's been a pleasure, actually. I've had a lot of meaningful conversations. I've enjoyed having those discussions in the middle. I look forward to contributing more for you as a player, both as a batter and a bowler. But yeah, it's coming out nicely. The expectations and a lot of things have changed over the years. However, I feel I'm at ease with my game and enjoying my game completely. The pressure is gone. I'm really relaxed. And yeah, I really enjoyed playing underneath you, Rohit. Look forward to having more success along with you.
Now, India Vice Captain Smriti Mandhana has been ruled out of the team's opening ICC T20 Women's World Cup clash against Pakistan, having sustained a finger injury during the warm-up games ahead of the tournament.
Terrific shot.
Stand-in head coach has confirmed that Mandhana has not sustained a fracture on her finger, which means that she is on all likelihood be available for the selection of the second group game onwards, which is against West Indies from the 15th of February. But in good news for India's skipper, Harmanpreet Kaur will be available for the selection as she is now declared fit. She picked up a soldier niggle during the tri-series against West Indies and South Africa. And with that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. For further news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download our app. This is me, Aishwarya Paliwal, signing off.
You are watching India Today.